Hey guys, and welcome back to my world. In the latest map that I just finished, the toy shop, which is like a survival and farm slash adventure mode slash survival mode type challengey race for world kind of game. Yeah, it's a combination of stuff. I added new items into the game by using player skulls and using texture packs. So this is actually player skulls that I've placed all around. So you can see this is hamburgers. If I were to break it, now I'm just going to break it with a bow, you will see it'll actually drop a hamburger. And this is hamburgers actually retextured apple, so you can actually eat this. Right, so you'll see that if I shoot a hamburger, just a hamburger falls. But if I shoot a different head, so for example, let's say I've got a chicken over here. If I shoot the chicken head, it will actually, where have you gone? Okay, it will actually drop a chicken spawn egg. So as you can see, this is a spawn chicken. If I shoot a cow head, it will actually drop a spawned cow. If I, for example, shoot any other head that's lying around in the map, for example, here we have Kupo's head. She and Featherblade, it's Featherblade and Kupo, they actually built the shop window that you can see over there. This is a mirror, but I made some major modifications, but they built this phenomenal reconstruction of it. So, for example, if I shoot Kupo's head, she drops a lovely little rose, and if I shoot Featherblade's head, he drops a block of diamond. Okay, so so if another example is if we go to the candy forest, okay, which is you'll need to find out how to get to the candy forest, but I'm not saying anything about a clown crying. No, didn't say anything. So you'll see here is cake. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of cake growing on trees, and if you shoot them, they will, drop cake. Now, you don't just have to shoot them, you can actually just break them, but you do need to be in survival mode. So if I go and break this head, you'll see that, boom, it actually drops a cake. Okay, which you can then absolutely eat and use and do whatever you want to do. So the basic concept is tied in obviously to the actual heads and the unique user ID or the UUID of each head. Now, this mechanism runs in this direction. As you can see, I have slowed it down considerably just so that you guys can actually see. Normally, I run it on a 20 hertz clock over here. Oh, I shouldn't actually be showing you what the heads are that you can break. So I'm normally running it on a 20 hertz clock, which is much, much faster, which kind of causes an instantaneous swap over, where this is a bit slowed down so that you could actually see what is happening. So you just saw that there. So I wonder if maybe I'll slow it down. There we go. Okay, so you can see kind of what happens when you break it. Okay, so this is the execution order. So this works on a partial NBT match of the UUID of the item. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is I have a scoreboard objective that I created called SkullItem, which is a dummy objective. Okay, so that is scoreboard objectives, add SkullItem dummy. Okay, like that, but it'll give me an error because I already created it. Okay, so that is the scoreboard objective I'm using. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually doing a partial NBT match on that UUID that says scoreboard players set at entity type equals item, give them a score of SkullItem 1 if that item's ID Minecraft is a Minecraft skull. It has a damage of 3, which is a player skull, and has a SkullOwner ID of that long UUID of the item. Don't worry, I'm going to explain this to you how to get that very, very shortly. But just so that you know that when you break that item drops with a unique UUID. Okay, and that is what you want. You want that ID of that item. Once it successfully finds that item, it's going to give them a SkullItem score of 1. Okay, so once that SkullItem score of 1, what I can then do is I can then execute at any entity that has a SkullItem score of at least 1 and no more than 1. I'm going to be running an execute command, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon. Well, first of all, custom name, but I'm going to be summoning a mushroom stew. I'm going to summoning one of them, and I'm going to just add the name so that it's donut, and I'm going to add it a law. So the item breaks, the UUID is matched with this command block. This command block then sets that item as item score to 1, this command block picks up that item has an item score of 1 and then summons a donut or mushroom stew right where that item is. Then what happens is, in exactly the same tick, I'm killing at E, score skullitem equals 4. Now what that means is any item that has an item score of 1 to 4 will be killed. If an item has a score of 5, it won't be killed. Now the reason for this is just this randomization, which I'll show you in a moment as well. Okay, so I can then actually add 3 more items to this to drop like that. That'll still just use this one command block to kill. Okay, now the actual sushi, because it's got a randomized way of doing it. So if we just show you what I mean with a randomized, you'll see it actually randomly drops random fish. Okay, because of that, the randomness of it, I have to slightly handle it differently. So what I'm doing is I'm doing exactly the same again. I'm doing a partial MBT data match. So scoreboard player set at entity type equals item, skullitem. This time I'm putting it to 5. Now remember, the reason I'm putting it to 5 is so that it's not killed by this command block. Okay, so it's skullitem 5, and then I'm injecting the UUID for that particular item into this command block. So when that item drops, and only that item, it will give me a score of 5. The next thing I'm doing is, instead of summoning the item, I'm going to be executing at a skullitem 5. I'm going to be executing a set block command, okay, which is then going to set a redstone block right over here, which I'll explain you right in a moment. This over here, don't worry about this. This is just the thing that makes this clock run over here. Okay, right, so how this works is, yes, I know this, it looks like a Mickey Mouse Pez dispenser, because it is. This is, after all, the texture pack for the toy shop map, but it is a dispenser. So what I've got in here is, yes, I know I can put this to -1. I was just too lazy to go and do a block data. So what I've got over here is four command blocks. So if I, oops, let me just actually get out of it so that I can quickly show you what they say. All they do is, oh, shouldn't have done that. Oh, never mind. So all they do is they summon the various items. Okay, so let me just put them all back like so. Okay, so what happens when you have multiple items in a dispenser? It'll randomly dispense one of those items. Now, obviously, when we were in the Candy Forest, it wasn't quite doing that, but it's supposed to be doing that. So it will randomly dispense an item. So what I've got over here is I'm executing at a skullitem minimum 5, skullitem equals 5. So I'm running it against that item, the sushi or the bento box. Okay, first off, I'm going to be summoning ID fish with a damage of 3, which is, I think it's the salmon. Then I'm going to summon an ID with a fish damage 2, which I think is a pufferfish. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think it's a pufferfish. It's one of the fish. This is just the damage 1, and this has no damage at all. So this will be damage 0. So there are my 4 fish that you see over there. So there's the salmon, fish, clownfish, pufferfish. Okay. So you break the item drops, it gets a score of 5. This block over here sets the redstone block over there, which then triggers this dispenser, which then randomly drops or summons an item on top of that bento box. But you'll see also over here, I've got a bit of a delay. Now what this delay does, first of all, it just clears this block over here. Okay, it clears that block. But what it also does, it kills all items, skull items with a score of 5. Okay, so that then kills it so that it drops. The one at the top here, it just kills the arrow, but it's just, I just added it so you don't have the arrow when I play with it over here. Okay, yeah, so that is very, very briefly, basically how it works. So let me just, I'm gonna jump into Pastebin to show you guys how to actually change this UUID. Now, once again, all of this will be in the description, so just check the description for these codes. So first off, choose your head. So I would recommend going to a site called heads.freshcoal.com, main collection. Once again, it is in the description. They've got a large range of of heads that I've used in a number of my videos recently. These are actual player heads, so they are not affected by the fix that Mojang did. These are actual player heads. Okay, I've not updated my custom head generator yet. I will in time. I will update it, but for now, use these heads. Yeah, they pretty decent. If you actually go to the website itself, they have a large collection of heads, so you can just browse all of them. Okay, it's phenomenal. Cool, great. So once you've actually got the head, you will, if you click on that link on the actual head itself, you will get this code. Now, it's very important that you summon this head into your world first. Okay, so that it pulls that skin, it pulls the UUID and puts that into wherever it puts it in Minecraft. Okay. Then what you can do is you're going to take this UUID like so. Oopsie. Control Z, Control copy. Okay, and you are going to paste it into where it says SkullOwner ID. So you can reuse the scoreboard very easily by just changing the numbers at 2, entering the UID over here, and then just changing these ones to 2, and then just setting what you want to spawn. Okay, so it's very simple and easily scalable. I mean, I use a large number of these heads in the toy shop. So yeah, very easy, very quick and nice to use. Yeah, I hope that all makes sense. I'm going to be doing a few more videos on the toy shop. If you haven't downloaded the toy shop yet, go download it. Go check it out. It is a cool map. Okay, it is a survival slash race for wolves slash ant farm slash, I don't know. It's a multi-genre map. So do go check it out. Do go play it. But yeah, do take your time to play it. And do check out the credits. A lot of people were involved in this map. I just made it a fully functional, playable, coherent map. But the builds and a lot of the ideas were from other people as well. So do go check it out. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. And as always, I will check you all later.